Good Thursday morning. What a night for New York baseball last night. Aaron Judge hits number 61, tying Roger Maris, finally getting that out of the way as he heads home to try to break the record with number 62. And the Mets with a comeback victory that I think we will be remembering if and when they win this division. Flipping back and forth last night because the Braves were on the MLB network with the Nationals. They go into extra innings. The Nationals win that game. The Mets have an opportunity in the ninth. They can't get it done. But Escobar comes up in the 10th and does it again. 3 times last night to head into the series in Atlanta, up a game. It was just spectacular for everybody. I mean, this is one of those mornings that everybody is happy, and it just got you even more fired up for what's to come in October. Good morning, Boomer. How are you?
You know, I'm a little tired, G. I mean, I'm getting tired of all staying up and watching all this stuff.
It's going to get even worse with all the playoffs.
Yeah, I know it is. And then we got Thursday Night Football tonight on Prime Video.
Yep.
Which is going to be a great game between the Dolphins and the Bengals. We got London football on Sunday morning at 9:30. Right. And so it's going to be a crazy weekend. And then, of course, you have this hurricane down in Florida with the photos are just so sad. I mean, it's amazing that the water's above some of the roofs of these houses. It's remarkable what's going on down there. But anyway, you're right. I guess everybody wakes up this morning and they're happy. And the fact that Aaron Judge got the ball back, the fact that he was able to give it to his mother, the fact that she was there and you saw Roger Maris Jr. there and they were hugging. I mean, it was such a great feel-good moment for all of us that are baseball fans and New York fans, and, you know, Aaron's been doing this the last 3 to 4 weeks. Everybody knew he was getting close, and everybody's waiting and waiting and waiting. Now, what will be interesting is he'll hit 62 at Yankee Stadium.
He should, yep.
And that will be, I mean, that would be spine-tingling because, you know, when he hit the ball yesterday, I don't know if I'm sure you saw the replay 1,000 times. When he hit the ball, you could see the Yankee fans in attendance immediately standing up.
Standing up,
immediately,
yep.
And you can see all the Yankee jerseys in the you know, in the stands behind the plate. It was an amazing moment. And, you know, it was really cool that it went into the bullpen of the Toronto Blue Jays. And then the Blue Jays gave the ball to Zach Britton, and then Zach Britton gave the ball to the security, and then they finally got it to Aaron Judge. But there was, like, no haggling, none of that. It was like,
well, it was very close. You're about a foot away from some haggling as there's 2 Blue Jay fans that had a clear shot at it, one of which his name was Frankie Lasagna. I'm not kidding. This guy,
I know. And
the guy in the baby blue jersey, the Guerrero jersey, his name was Frankie Lasagna. And then the schlub next to him with the Bichette jersey, he was the one who really had the opportunity there. And it actually, I think, might have glanced his glove, and he turned around and he threw the glove at a fan behind him. I mean, that right there was their chance at maybe close to $1 million, and they just missed it. The guy in the blue jersey just missed it. Frankie Lasagna is the one in the baby blue, and then the other guy in the darker blue, he was the one with the Bichette jersey, and he just missed it. And then it does go into the bullpen. The bullpen coach takes it, and then you talked about it, Britton and Yankee security, Judge's mom, the whole thing. So, yeah, it was special. And, you know, watching this last night, that at-bat, he and Michael Kay pointed this out, so I'll give him credit. He's watched a lot of Judge at-bats. Aaron Judge usually stands in there and doesn't move in the batter's box. So right before he hits the home run, he took a walk out of the batter's box. Just took a walk, took some time, you know, then went back in, and Michael Kay goes, he never does that. Never, ever, ever does that. Gets back in the box, boom, home run. And it was spectacular. It really was.
Yeah, that was Meredith asked him that. I don't know if you saw the post game.
I didn't see the post. So I was watching the Mets.
She asked him about walking out of the. Yeah, all right, okay. So she asked him about that, and he was like, his answers. I mean, you couldn't script it any better.
Yeah.
I mean, and you couldn't script. The only way that you can script his season better is if it's Game 7 of the World Series and it's the bottom of the ninth and he hits a 2-run home run to win the World Series.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy.
I wouldn't be surprised at this point.
If he comes walking out of the cornfields, for God's sake, it's going to be. It couldn't be any more perfect, and he couldn't be any more perfect of a guy to root for. Really, honestly, I mean, I'll be rooting against him if they play the Mets, of course. But I was certainly, I think, like every baseball fan, I would like to think, was rooting for him because of the way He is. He's very humble, and he knows how good he is, and he knows what he wants in terms of a contract, and that will speak volumes when we get to that point. But at this moment right now, he is the most celebrated athlete in New York for sure, maybe even in the country.
If you could handpick a guy to have the clean record, if you will, for home runs, it would be Aaron Judge. And Roger Maris Jr. sitting there, and his son, whatever, I forget exactly how many games he's been at, but he actually did look touched for that moment. Like he looked miserable for a while there.
It's been at least at 8 or 9 games because this has gone on 8 games.
Right. So, but he did look, and I think he was there for 60 too. He might have started getting there for 60, but he did look like it was like a moment he was happy for, and he turns around and he hugs Judge's mom, and it was just, it was a cool thing. And last night was just like, it was just a great baseball night all around. And
for all the crap that goes on around here and all the things that you read about, you hear about when you turn on 880 or 1010 and what they lead with. And then we get to lead with the good stories. We get to lead with a great story where I think, and look, the Mets story is great too, because the guy who comes through, Escobar, it's a guy, like in the middle of the season, everybody's all on his ass.
He wasn't producing.
Well,
that's the way it goes.
But, it's a baseball season, and it is a team, and everybody has to have their moments. Everybody has to chip in, if you will, so you can get your team to where, Aaron Judge, he's been chipping in all year, don't get me wrong, but there were moments when Josh Donaldson hit a game-winning home run. Stanton hit a game-winning home run. Gleyber Torres hit a game-winning home run. Garrett Cole pitched 9 innings or 7 innings or whatever it is. Everybody has to participate, and everybody has to, and you can tell when a guy is really respected on his team, because when he comes through and he does it, the reaction of his teammates and watching what happened with Eduardo Escobar last night. Now, if I told you at the beginning of the year that Eduardo Escobar was going to hit 20 home runs, knock in 68 runs, and bat 240, would you have taken that?
Oh, of course, you'd love it. Yeah, you would absolutely love it. And if you would have told me that he did what he did last night in one of the most important regular season games the Mets have played in years, of course I would take it. And the fact that he had driven in every run to that point, and then they walked to get to him in the 10th inning. So McNeil comes up. Of course, we know he's a hit machine. And Ron Darling said, this is probably the right move, turning Escobar around in this situation, even though he has done what he's done so far tonight. And he came through again. It was just spectacular. And it was so frustrating in the 9th inning because you had Edwin Diaz come in the top of the 9th and a tie game, and it's bang, 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 strikes out the side. And then you got Alonso and you got Lindor looming in the bottom of the 9th. And it's 1st and 2nd, and there's 1 out, and Pete Alonso is up, and he just flails at that 3-2 pitch, that slider way out of the zone.
That's what Aaron Judge hadn't been doing.
Right, and I understand there was a pitch actually before that, the 2-2 pitch that could have been called a strike and was not. But then he waves at this. It could have been bases loaded. He could have got the run to the 3rd with 1 out. Then Lindor comes up, and then, of course, he ends up popping out. And it was just miserable at that point. I'm thinking, and that was right after the Braves had lost. So the Braves lost on MLB Network. Then you flip over, and you're like, the Mets could win in the next 2 minutes here and take a full game lead, and you had that happen. But then the 10th inning, they came through, and Escobar was the man last night. That's what you need in the postseason in these games. It's not always going to be Alonso. It's not always going to be Lindor. It's going to be these other guys that have these huge games. Nito didn't end up scoring a run, but Nito with that huge double late in the game. Guys like that have to contribute if you're going to win a championship.
Guys like that have contributed all year long. Mark Canha, how many big hits has he had? Mm-hmm. So when you think about Starling Marte, who's on the injured list, and hopefully he's going to get back here soon, how many big hits has he had?
Yeah, they need him. So
I would say that Billy Epler, gets an A+ for the guys that he signed this offseason and brought in here. He brought in legitimate baseball players.
Yeah, A+ for the offseason, F for the trade deadline.
If you want, because I understand, because you're saying that Naquin and Ruff really haven't done much.
Vogelback too.
And Vogelback too.
And then Givens.
But even in the beginning, Vogelback had some moments. He had some moments.
Yeah, but
and so has Ruff. They've had moments.
Ruff has not had moments.
They have not had. They have not had consistent moments.
Ruff has had no moments.
But maybe when we get to the playoffs, maybe it will be their time to shine. Who knows? But all I know is that you're like all fanboy this morning.
It was great.
You are like all fanboy 100%.
No,
I could tell it in your voice.
No, it was great. I'm not. Listen, the baseball season, and I've talked about this many times, way too long. the ups and downs, the overreactions, all that stuff. Last night mattered. It mattered in a huge way. Last night was a night that you will remember in two ways for both of these teams. Obviously, the Aaron Judge number 61 happening up there, and the way that it happened and him finally getting to that milestone is something that everybody will always remember. But I think if the Mets end up winning this division, you will point back to how that unfolded and them coming back from that 4-0 deficit and having the Braves actually lose a baseball game to a bad team in extra innings and them going down in this series with an opportunity to sweep it and then end up winning a division. If they sweep, then it's over at that point. So that would be just...
Whoa.
If they did, but I'm saying...
Let's just pump the brakes for a
what?
second.
That's the truth, though. I'm saying if, not they're going to.
I know it's the
and
truth.
if you lose 2 out of 3, I'll put it that way, you're still tied. So going into that series up a game was just absolutely critical. And it looked like it was going to go the other way with the Mets losing and then the Braves coming back and tying that game at 2-2. I was thinking this is horrible. They're going to go down to Atlanta, down a game, and the NL East is going to go to the Atlanta Braves, and it flipped just like that. I really do think that this was a night where you feel like this is the closest they've come to really putting this division away because they're right there. It's all in front of them now in Atlanta.
Yes, it is, and they have their pitching staff lined up, and hopefully, Hurricane Ian will move out, and they'll be.
Forecast is great now.
It looks like it's going to be okay.
No, the forecast is great now. I don't think it's going to impact these games at all. There's like no chance of rain in Atlanta those 3 days now.
Which is amazing. So this thing is going to come up the East Coast? Is that what they're thinking?
Yeah, I mean, at some point it's going to. Yeah, I think it's not going to go inland as much now.
Right.
So
So this is my buddy Big Joe Bastardi.
Big Joe Bastardi, yeah.
Yeah. So he slid into my DMs last night.
Oh, did he?
He did, yes. And this is exactly what he said was going to happen.
Oh, he said this as well, Big Joe Bastardi.
Yeah. The only thing that he didn't, that the initial track said it was going to go up the center of the country.
Yeah.
Or the center of the Southeast. And he said it was going to be more up the East Coast.
Okay.
So this thing's moving east. Atlanta's to the west of it.
Man, if this guy's so good, he's got to get a real job as opposed to being on Samsung TV widgets that you watched when you had nothing to do on a Friday night.
I was tired. He did. He did. He slid right into my DMs. Hey, what's up? I said, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it went?
Something like that.
Did you send him a tasteful nude after that?
No, I did not.
Oh. I just thought maybe for a thank you.
No, I did not.
Okay.
Man, I had a busy day yesterday, man. It was crazy.
You with a busy day? Get out of here.
Going crazy. I had an appearance with Tiki Barber last night with his Thuzio company.
Yeah, Thuzio.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
It was fun. It was great.
Yeah.
Midtown. Then I had to go down to the Tin Building.
Okay.
Jean-Georges presents the Tin Building, 53,000 square feet of food and restaurants and markets.
Yeah.
I know where we're going for Christmas, boys. This place is ridiculous.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of fluff there, too. There's a lot of celebrity-type people. They're bougie people.
Bougie people?
Coach Cowher. I was hanging out with Coach Cowher a little bit.
Oh, you guys have made up?
We don't have a problem. We've never had a problem.
No, it feels a little icy there, but
no, it's not icy.
You say.
It's not icy.
Whatever you say.
So you're hanging out with him at the Tin Building, so that was pretty good. And this place was a madhouse.
Mm-hmm.
It was a total madhouse.
Yeah.
And it was the opening night of it. And I invited you guys to go, but nobody wanted to go. So
that's a lie.
That's not true. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I invited Spank to go. That's right.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
And Spank didn't want to go.
Big difference.
But this would have been right up Spank's alley.
So why did you invite any of us?
You know what? Because I know you guys would say no. I know. Look, you have a whole nother set of circumstances with 2 kids at home.
Well, he's on the air for 17 hours a day. What's the difference there?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Because I figured he'd want a hobnob.
Oh, okay.
He likes hobnobbing.
Sure.
But I will say that this place is ridiculous. It is amazing what they've done over there, and I could not believe it. So it's over there by the enemy, ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
And it's right in that whole group of the South Street Seaport area.
Yeah.
And this used to be the Fulton Fish Market. And they've turned it into a 53,000 square foot eatery kind of shopping market, and everything you can imagine is there. Everything. You name a food item, and it's there.
True, Udell?
It's there.
Mongos.
It's there. Caviar, there.
Yeah.
Wontons, there.
Wontons.
Pasta, there. Hamburgers, there. You name it. I mean, look at this place.
Yeah,
It's got 2 floors. It's insane.
Look at that. All right, very good.
Yes, I had a good time last night. It was
Awesome.
great.
What I did is I went home, I ate lunch, I took a nap, I woke up, I went to the driving range, I came home, I ate dinner, and I watched baseball.
Look at you going to the driving range.
That's right. Went to the range.
You still got your lessons or what? When are we done with the lessons?
We got to get another one in.
Oh, we do? Okay.
We got to get another one in.
Are you ever really done with lessons? Never.
Yeah, no. Especially when you start at 40 years old.
True. I told you, Joe G started when he was like 50.
Yeah, I know. I'm feeling okay, though. Just got to get that driver straight. Working on that. All right, Boomer and Gio on the Fan and CBS Sports Network.